The Lionel number for this engine is 2334030. I've always had a fondness of Lionel's NW-2s. It's an engine I've had a long appreciation of, so join me in the review of Lionel's Great Northern NW-2. It's listed in the Lionel 2022 Volume 2 catalog. It's a digital release, but they do have a picture of it, which is kind of nice. And I am Herb Coach, and I'm with the Chicagoland Lionel Railroad Club. Great Northern's EMD NW-2 locomotive. The Great Northern Railway had 51 NW-2s on its roster. These engines could produce 1,000 horsepower, weighing in at 125 tons. The earlier engines had short smokestacks. As you can see with the taller smokestacks of the Great Northern 161, it was one of the later production units. With this engine, EMD made all of its electrical equipment in-house. Prior to that, EMD subcontracted the electrical equipment to General Electric and Westinghouse. The NW-2 designation stands for the following. The N stands for 900 horsepower, which was the rating of the original NC switcher engine and had a cast frame, hence the C reference. When the frame was welded, the C became the W for welded frame. The 2 is the second model in the NW series. The NW-2 was one of EMD's most popular small diesel engines. The initial NW-2s were made in 1937. In the decade it was made, 1,143 engines were produced. When I first got the Great Northern NW-2 number 162, I was wondering how it compared to the original one that was from the early 50s. And you know what? It has a striking resemblance. I couldn't believe it. From all of the metalwork, the handrails, the handrail here, the walkway handrail, all of that is the same. And you look at the antenna is the same. The bell, both painted black, and the stacks. Now the one thing that's a little different is the horn. The new one has the horn element right before the horn speaker. And another thing that I noticed was that the lights in front, the new one has lights that illuminate. But it is very interesting how close they are. And then if you look at the new Legacy NW-2, you can see that the hood tapers over the window, where on the original tooling it goes square out and it has a bigger cab, where the Legacy has a smaller cab. And then I found the C-board, and the C-board has the horn mechanism in front of the horn speaker, a gold bell, and then in absence of the wheel antenna, it has a little nub antenna. No lights in front here. And you can see it's got a stamped rail system here, no railings on the side here. They took the body of the early 1950s and put it into the LionChief Plus 2 and really did a good job. From the later 50s engine, they took the horn motor and then the horn speaker and put the horn motor and speaker into this one. So they incorporated the best of both worlds from the early 50s to the latter 50s. Another thing that was interesting to see was that they took the motor and put it at the back end of the engine from the early 1950 version, and they took the motor and put it in the front of the later 1950s version. And they also had a horn in the cab. And if you look at the NW-2 here, you can see that the motor is in the front with pickups on both trucks.
Yard office, are you still clear all the way? Over.
Engine inspection. Starting at the beginning of the engine, you can see that they made some nice wire handrails. There's a nice grab rail on the hood of the engine. The trucks are nice and defined. Nice gas tank there. And you can see all the cabinet doors are very well detailed and have a three-dimensional look to them. The long smokestacks, which are from the newer series of NW-2s. In front of the cab you can see the horn. Nice grill work on top. You're able to see all of the hinges and cabins and rivets in a nice three-dimensional pattern. You have the hood louvers up front, and a remnant from the 1950 design, they have the big bicycle wheel antenna up front. The cab has a filtered window. There are no figures that we can see. Looking at the cab, you can see the shade that is typical of the 1950 design. I like the nice 162 and the Great Northern logo. Really shines. Nice stairway coming up to the engine on both ends. The rear of the engine is reminiscent to the early 1950s engine with the handrail, the wire handrail. Now, the light is pulsating in the video, but when I look at it directly, it is a solid light. Access into the cab would be to climb up from the stairs onto the first deck and then get up onto the second deck and then go into the door. Nice windshield wipers. Looking at the front end, you can see the nice 162, the front grille, nice headlight. The couples activate remotely. Nice sound effect. And when you reverse the engine, the headlight turns off and you have some nice running lights showing that the engine is going in reverse. This engine has a fan-driven smoke system that I elect not to turn on so that the locomotive shows that it has a clean burning efficient engine and not something that is out of tune and not working efficiently. For those that want to put smoke fluid into the engine, the smoke fluid is put into either stack. The Bluetooth switch is right under the Great Northern symbol with off and on positions. Smoke is right under the back deck, and you have the off position and the on position. The run program switch is on the left side under the cab, where you have the program position and the run position. Looking underneath, I see the big speaker, which gives it a nice rich sound, a Lionel tag. Okay, let's take our measurement from closed knuckle to closed knuckle, 12.5 inches. From body to body, 11 inches. Distance between rollers, 8 3/4 inches. A nice length to get through switches, especially for a switching engine. Let's see if we can get the Great Northern 162 connected to the LionChief Plus control. Oh, look at that, it jumped right in. So the horn and bell work quite nice.
Tower, roses are coupled. Are we clear to the main line? Over. Hold for signal indication. Out.
Go forward.
Going to slow speed.
Oh, that's nice. So that's fun with the control here. I'm finding out that this engine is quite a puller. There are 14 cars behind this engine right now, and it has no trouble pulling them.
Dispatcher, admin, are we clear of the station? Over. Okay, all clear inbound. Out. Dispatcher, how's the track look? Am I clear? Over. Track is clear. You're good to go. Out. Tower, train inbound. Am I clear? Over. Yes, you are clear inbound. Out. Restriction on that curve up ahead. Better either off.
Clear boards all the way. Gonna make this run in record time.
Let's try some sounds from the dispatcher.
Let me know as soon as 724 gets by. We ought to have a little time to do something. All right, we'll call you right behind 1124 then. Got a lot of tongues today. Better bunch in some slack before we start out.
Got an approach big on ahead. Gonna have to batter down. Don't forget about those slow orders at MP 124.6. Hopefully they get a crew out there to fix that blow spot. It's getting real through the saddle. Try to crew down on the big fill. We've got to slow to 20 and make some noise as we pass milepost 29. 50 they got slow boards up on the bridge. Try to cruise out on the big fill. We've got to slow to 20 and make some noise as we pass milepost 29.
Let's hear the engineer talking to the tower.
Hey, Magina. Clear by about a car length. Right, Patty?
Clear, Rose. On the flagman. Let's get going.
Hey, Magina. Clear by about a car length. Right, Patty?
Clear, Rose.
2635, and he won't be out of here for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay, alrighty. That call anyways, later on? Okay. Thank you.
What's really clear is that this LionChief Plus 2 has a lot of traffic comm from the engineer to the dispatcher.
Try to cruise out on the big fill. We've got to slow to 20 and make some noise as we pass milepost 29.
You can see the Great Northern is pulling our lumberjack logger car, the Logger for Loggers. It's available by our club. Get to our website, clrctrains.com, and order yours today. The train is coming in, ready to end the shift.
You're in office. The engine is stopped. Looking to cut off and head over to the pit. Over. Copy. Stand by and set your brakes. Out.
Well, the shift is over. The day is done. I want to thank you for watching our CLRC review of the Great Northern 162 NW-2 switcher. Here's some talk from the engineer to the dispatcher.
Operator, all handbrakes are knocked off. Can I roll? Over. Please hold. Getting a route line now. Out. Dispatcher,
So it's good to hear that there's a lot of communication capability from this TMCC LionChief Plus 2 engine.